All right, I'm standing here with Angus from the Boer Legion.
Boer Legion.
Yeah. Can you tell me quite briefly what the Boer Legion is about?
Boer Legion is a civil defense organization, and we are focusing on supporting our people, our nation, to defend themselves and to teach them and train them to be able to be in a position that they can defend them against any crime. South Africa has been becoming a nasty place, as you know, when it comes to crime, and we don't want victims anymore. We want people that fight against this crime. This is effectively what I'm doing and my team's doing.
So we are at the shooting range now.
Yeah.
So what are we doing for kind of training here, and what are you actually preparing for while training here?
So the people that you see, I've got a group of 12 people that's currently on the shooting range with me. The first group of 12 instructors that we're teaching. South Africa is a very large place, and for us to be able to cover the whole South Africa and get everybody trained that needs to be trained, we need to have instructors. So we have a pyramid system that effectively then the trainers will train the people in the regions, and these guys will then train the civil groups within our country. Yeah. So these guys here are busy with the second phase of their training. This is only basic training, so it's basic firearm competencies that they need to do.
How big is the Boer Legion?
I can't give you exact figures at the moment, but we're growing by about 200 people a week, and it's very exciting. Just if I may speak around the Boer Legion, we've been moving the Boer Legion from just a static civil organization into a very dynamic next generation kind of environment. We've got a new digital platform. We're not focused on shooting and getting people trained only, but we're focusing on getting guys IT savvy, getting out there, speaking to people like yourself to explain our plight and why we actually need your support to get more people trained and get this whole growth in our communities.
You said that you're preparing to defend against crime, but now the South African government is actually talking about the land expropriation without compensation. Do you see any role for the Boer Legion in that question?
So first of all, we always operate within the confines of the law. We never want to move out of that, and that's important. So what we're doing here with the Boer Legion is to operate within the confines of the law, and saying that, as a civil servant or as a citizen, I am allowed to support and within the bounds of the law any of the farmers and the people that's out there that might be at risk. And I think that's very important. We are not a rogue group, and we're not a militant group, and that's a very important thing to note.
Yeah. You mentioned to me earlier as well that you go out to some of these farming communities and you also instruct them in self-defense and handling arms and stuff like that.
Actually, yes. We spend a lot of time on the road. We travel a lot through South Africa, and there's a major need in all the farming communities to actually get the farmers equipped to understand how to defend themselves, how to actually organize themselves better, and how to prepare themselves for any kind of attack that could occur. We've noticed that it's not just, I don't want to generalize, but there's a lot of places where the guys aren't thinking about defending themselves, although it's one of the most critical jobs in South Africa. People are getting killed like you can't believe. But we actually visit those guys, we teach them basic safety. We have a principle that every family member is a fighting unit. So it means kids, anybody, the women, and they work together to protect the house, protect the family, and we work together to build defensive lines so that we can protect ourselves against those people that attacks the farms.
And when you go out to this farming community, what would you say is the most basic points that you put forward that they may be not thinking about that can make a difference in security?
Security is a life form. Security is not something that you leave in the safe, and when the trouble hits you, you run and try to go and find your firearms. You need to change the way that you live, you need to change the way that you act, you have to be more prepared. And one of the biggest problems we have, not only in the farming communities but also in the cities, is phones. Everybody's on the phone the whole time. They lose control of what's happening around them, and then they're more vulnerable. Also, people don't have plans. They don't have plans to actually say that these are the barriers before somebody can get to me. You need some sort of early warning system so that you can then defend yourself. That no matter how much training you have on the firing range, how many guns you got, if you don't have those defensive lines and understand how to be pre-warned, you're in a very, very vulnerable position. So we teach those kind of basic things. Of course, keep your firearm with you, keep it safe, and understand what you do.
Yeah, the small stuff that actually will make a difference.
It's basic things. It's basic things. But I give you an example. I was training some farmers about a month ago up north, and when about 30 of them arrived, none of them had firearms, personal firearms on them. I think there were maybe 2 guys that had. I asked guys, where's your firearms? How would you protect yourself? No, they're in the safe at our house. So it's we have clever people, we have smart people, we have innovative people in this country, and the biggest thing is safety is something that you have to consciously think about and consciously make a decision that I will wear my personal firearm on me every day, even if it's inconvenient, and I will wear it according to the law. And then do it in that way, but still people don't think like that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for visiting.
Yeah, pleasure.
Jonas.